Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out BIOMUTANT. Was hoping for something a little bit different than what I got with this one, but never comes to pass, does it?
Welcome to BIOMUTANT.
Thank you. So, that was... Sorry, I couldn't stop myself with that one. So, options, just before we dig in. Pretty decent set of them. I am playing this on PC, and it does run pretty well. I've been playing with everything as pretty much as high as it goes. I am playing on controller. Ooh, controller icons? DualShock 4. Nice. Why didn't I change it to that? I'm playing on a DualSense. Tons of sound sliders. Can't help but appreciate that. I also appreciate that you can turn the narrator off, because he's actually kind of terrible. So, good on you for having that in there. Although I'd probably just end up turning him down entirely. Video options, everything here works fine as far as I can tell. I limited the frame rate to 60. I've got the graphics on max, and it hasn't really hurt the performance in any way, shape, or form. I have a decent PC, A700K, 16 gig of RAM, GeForce 2080, not Ti, just RTX 2080. Rebindable controls, always appreciated. And some accessibility options. I don't know why QTE autocomplete is always in accessibility. Why can't that just be in gameplay? I always appreciate being able to force them off. And there's your subtitle options. Nothing wrong with the settings going on here at the very least. It's kind of with the rest of the game. So, we're just going to hit continue, load into my save game. I've been playing for about, as it says there, 4 hours. And those 4 hours, I have to admit, have not been the most interesting ones. I was planning on giving it an hour or two more, but I was just like, I don't think there's going to be anything that'll really change my mind about the way this game works, so it's probably about time I dropped it. Which is annoying, since I've spent $70 Australian on it. See, I didn't really know what the game was going to be. I probably should have done more research. As it turns out, it's a really, really, really standard open world fare. I mean, it's so standard that even with this, like, unique theme going on, where you've got everything is like these mutated creatures, it's got this massive world filled with toxic sludge and what have you, most of it feels no different to any other generic open world game that I've played in the last few years, and it's just kind of depressing. We're just going to take the opportunity to explore. Game's got no fall damage, by the way, which is very strange. At least I think it's very strange. Just because it feels like it should have some, but it just doesn't. Is the loot I'm looking for down there? Oh, looks like I'll be able to get back up, so this won't hurt. Yeah, probably should just get straight into the combat, because the combat is probably the thing you'll be doing the most of in this game. And you absolutely should be trying to do as much of it as possible. So the combat is really simple to understand. You've got a melee weapon, which you use the square or the X button to use. And you've got a ranged weapon, which you fire via the right trigger. And you've got multiple different kinds of both, but they all work pretty much in the same way. So the way this gameplay works, the way this combat system works, now, I will apologize if it turns out I'm like missing mechanics or something, but I don't really think I'm missing anything in particular to do with the gameplay. Oh, you've also got a dodge on B, 2 jumps on A, you can manually reload your gun with the right bumper or R1, depending on what controller you're using. Things along those lines. There we go, that's what I was looking for. But yeah, here's the thing about the combat. Here's how you do the majority of your damage. Every single one of these weapons has a unique set of combos it can use, right? That was the tsunami thrust. If I jump twice in the air, I can do the unstoppable duck. They have some weird names in this game. I'll get onto that. It bothers me more than you might think.
What a blow.
These unique combos will often do a lot of damage, but it usually aren't like cancelable or anything. And so the entire idea is that when you do a combo with any of these particular weapons or in any of these particular ways, it fills up one part of your I can't even remember what they call it. It's like Wang Fu, and I keep wanting to call it Wu-Tang. I don't even listen to Wu-Tang. But every time you do one of these, it gives you one onto your meter. Now, you can't do the same one over and over again, but if you split them apart, so I just did a tsunami thrust first, then I did an unstoppable duck, then I did another tsunami thrust, that'll count. And when you manage to pull off 3 of them, you can activate Super Wung Fu. And Super Wung Fu is really powerful. It gives you some massively powerful area of effect attacks, a really stupidly powerful mash square combo, and it lets you fire your gun a ton. As in just bang, 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 bang. Now, you do have other abilities that you can fiddle with. Oh, nice. Some pants. They aren't actually that much better than the ones I have on right now. And an adrenaline shot, which I'm guessing will help. Area completed. Now, am I allowed to leave in a really quick way? No, but there is some loot here. Crafting component, health item. Pretty much the majority of loot items you're going to get. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So, you complete any of those combos you complete 3 of those combos, but at least they have to be unique. You can't do the same one 3 times over. You have to do one... Come on, brain, work with me here. You have to do one, then another, then you can go back to doing the same one. And then you get your Super Wung Fu. And then your Super Wung Fu is used, and you just continue on.
Strong enough?
You continue back into the fight. There are some other mechanics, like for example, if you hold the L2 button, it lets you use some special abilities, which I'll use in the next combat. Trust me, it's never far away. And there are some other things you can do, like the game's got some... Whoops. Missed an item there. Oh well. The game's got some other things you can do. You can parry, but I've just found it easier to just dodge out of the fucking way. It works all the more. Although that does let you launch enemies, which can be quite useful in certain situations if you want to get them away from the pack. But the absolute majority of my time with this game's combat has been just whack them with 3 special combos, pull out the Super Wang Fu, repeat for minutes on end. It's also worth noting that I started on...
Says a savior wouldn't bother with saving the unsavable. Seems surprised you have to go.
Those are 2 chat lines that don't really work together. Alright, back to what I was saying. It really is just those 3 sets of moves, plus the Super Wung Fu, the Super Wu-Tang, over and over and over again. And as a result, the combat has just become a bore. Wu-Tang is incredibly powerful. And as a result, I just find myself getting really bored with it. As I said, you can have different weapons, and they come with their own special combos.
Has become more powerful thanks to you.
But those special combos are all the same. They're just like 3 different inputs on your controller, and that's it. They don't change up your real strategy. They might make you a bit slower and hit a bit harder, but it's never anything particularly over the top. As a result, I just don't see the point. Whoops. Great! Stuck behind a tree. Completely lost my opportunity to use the Super Wu-Tang. Thanks, game. Yeah, as a result, the game just becomes really simple. All the combat goes the same way because there's no reason to do it any other way. If you've got a ton of enemies surrounding you, that's great. Just keep using the area of effect attack. They'll die eventually.
For wood.
Yes, the forest is where you go for wood. Shut the fuck up. I'll get to him. I'll get to him, I swear. But yes. As a result, I just don't like the combat. It does start out relatively promising because dodging can be pretty damn satisfying. Aren't you just adorable? The dodging can be really satisfying. Especially when you flip over the top of a person mid-jump. That works pretty well. Is this the way I need to go? I mean, it is the way I need to go technically. I guess I just need to work my way back up onto this cliff. You have mounts. But it's just not really that complex. You just whistle for them and they come. They can't die. They can't be improved as far as I can tell. You can get multiple of them, and you can have multiple, like, weapons here. So I can change to, like, some shitty pistols, but these just do less damage, and I haven't found something that gives me more damage yet. You can change your melee weapons, including this really annoying thing where sometimes there'll be, like, walls you have to break, and you have to swap out your weapon to do it, and I just don't see the point. Can't you just reduce it to a button prompt?
Yes. Some e-waste for you.
It's all just open world 101 and not really much else going for it. Especially when you wander into a small area like a silo or an underground tunnel or a sewer or just something along those lines, you know? You come across an area and it just gives you that list of goals on the left and you're like, ah, fuck me dry. I'm not even saying fuck me dry to this thing. This thing is easy.
Stuffed.
Fuck? The fuck? Okay.
Oh, that's it.
I'll just shoot him. Range is also really overpowered in this game, as far as I can tell. All the ranged weapons I've got have just been way more useful and way more convenient. You don't have limited ammo. It just takes a little bit to reload once you run out of magazines. So, it really does seem to be the best way to just take out an enemy. Just stay back and keep shooting at them. They don't encourage you to get close. They don't encourage you to vary up your strategy. Hell, they barely encourage you to use the different combos. You just go, you just use the combos you're more familiar with. And as a result, it's just easy. Let me show off some of these extra abilities though. So, here's one that I unlocked at the very beginning. Basically, it's just poison. And this poison just causes them all to attack each other. Although the problem is, if I attack back, they'll lose it, but it seems like it's not even doing anything here anyway. Now, an unstoppable duck. Fire, fire, triangle for the fox toss. Then another unstoppable duck.
Blasting everything to bits.
Beat him senseless. Yeah. There is some low level of satisfaction to it, but I just gotta tell you, man. I've been doing the same thing over and over for a while now, and it just isn't appealing. It was okay for the first couple of hours, but even... Oh, great, my claw bar is too weak, I need to go upgrade it. Thanks, game. Seems like a real cop-out excuse, but... Whatever. There is a plot going on. A corporation poisoned the world from head to toe, then basically just fucked off the planet and left these mutated animals to develop, and now there's a bloody gang war going on, and apparently this big-ass tree that's off in the distance somewhere. This big-ass tree that's off in the distance is like the key to keeping the world stable. And you get to choose whether or not you want to go with what's blatantly good or blatantly evil. They try to pass it off with something like, they try to pass it off with dialogue like, there is no right or wrong path. It's not that blatant, but it's pretty close.
Coming to the world, and
it's not that blatant, but it's pretty close. So you find yourself clearly having a choice between being good and being evil.
Doesn't feel real until it brings you back to that particular moment. Like,
and it just has like no... there's just nothing to it whatsoever. Ow. I don't even know what the point of these are. Like, I've done one of these already. It was actually right before I started recording this video. And it unlocks something for your robot friend, which is bizarre. It's legitimately bizarre. You don't have your robot friend at this part of the story. So I just find myself asking, like, how? Oh no, there's the robot friend. What are you doing there? I didn't think I had you at this point.
And their accompanying feelings. Our brains play tricks on us, so it will take effort to avoid them.
I am pretty sure this is how you get the upgrades, though. Definitely not playing this on PlayStation 5. Come on now. There we go.
However, there's no doubt that what you remember makes your future different.
I'm growing for some reason. Or it's just really stammery. Give me the air glider.
I was wondering when you'd recall how to spring the automaton air gliders.
But anyway, as I was saying, the story just, it does give you choices between what is blatantly good and blatantly evil. It's just not engaging. They do promise that it affects how people see you, not only in the present but in the past, which is it's kind of a nice trick.
Around in that old home.
It's a nice trick. Oh look, rotation puzzle. These are silly. So basically, you just got to rotate these, and you got to do it in a certain number of moves. These actually broke for me in my first game. I ended up having one that just wouldn't rotate properly, and I had to reboot the game in order to get it to work. So I was sitting there for 20 minutes trying to figure out what the fuck was wrong with this goddamn spinning puzzle. But no, the game was just balked. Alright, I think it's actually probably time to make use of this poison now. Ow. But yeah, the game does blatantly give you the choice of, like, good or evil from time to time, and it does have, like, a minor effect on how people see you. But it's just not very engaging. Yeah, there's my second ability. We'll go over the upgrade stuff and shizzle-whizzle in a tizzle, my fizzle. I have no idea what the fuck I'm saying. Please stop me. Admittedly, the combat does kind of have its own problems. My main one is that enemies can attack you from all directions, and it can be kind of hard to tell what's going on until... it can be hard to tell what's going on. You won't know you're being attacked until you actually get hit, and that's enough to knock you out of special combos. Which can be really fucking annoying.
Galvanized.
For some reason, I just can't seem to hurt him very much anymore. Oh well, it doesn't matter.
You've had better days.
The thing about BIOMUTANT and its universe is that, at least in the first few hours that I've been playing... Oh yeah, here's how you heal, by the way. Just pick something and your health regenerates over time. It's not particularly difficult. But here's the thing I've noticed mainly about BIOMUTANT as a thing. The theme and the idea is cool, but literally everything outside the idea can easily be done in any other kind of universe with, like, regular human beings, because your entire backstory is, oh, parents got hunted down by Big Beast, right? That's the entire backstory of the main character. Oh, that was the end of the fight, was it? But yeah, that's the entire backstory of the main character. Beast hunted down parents after loving upbringing in village where I was also kind of an outsider. All of the story so far has been random people who are surprisingly good with old world technology. It legitimately, there's a couple of other things too, a couple of other examples, but on top of, when all this is just said and done, it legitimately feels like you could do this theme with just regular humans in a regular poisoned world with mutations and what have you. And it wouldn't make a difference. So the whole thing about just being a fancy beastie just doesn't really hit home because it doesn't feel any different to any other sort of story that you would use with that style. Hell, the only time you even remember is when you come across one of the posters for the corporation that buggered everything up at the end of the day. Sitting in like a subway or something. And you just find yourself thinking, oh, right. This game has a backstory. Where do we go next? Yeah, might as well go for some old world knowledge. It's not too far. The game's got all these different side areas, of course. But none of them are particularly interesting. The interesting ones so far have mainly been the raids on the shrines, but they've just been these like weird little things that feel like just random open world encounters. Like there's this one where you get told, hey, I want you to help me take over this outpost. I have a way for you to do it as well. Go underground and send all these bees out. And I'm thinking, okay, it'll be a distraction. Then we'll just go in and take care of the problem. I don't want to actually go in here probably because it's got thing. It probably won't let me in there for longer than a minute at a time without dying. Let's prove it. So if I walk through here, yep, top right, this is a radioactive zone. We can build our resistances to these over time, and eventually we'll just be allowed to walk in here as much as we humanly want, but for now I get to go and locate the radioactive ping dish. Oh yeah, that's another thing that's unique to this world. Really stupid names for everything. Remember that episode of The Simpsons where they go to Australia? Yeah, I know. And Homer says something along the lines of, oh, hi. Never mind. And Homer, there was this one pimply-faced teen that has this frog near the very end of the episode, and he says, that's what you call them? I thought they called them Chazwazzers. That is this entire game.
Let's hope the beast
The names of everything in this game in a nutshell. Ping Dish, Bang Shelter, Gutway, Chug Yard. That's for trains. There's even the objective things. Find Click to stronken the Clonk Fist. Make it stronger, for God's sake. Every single opportunity they have to make one of these stupid names for these things, they take it, and it makes me cringe internally every single time because it just makes the entire world feel way more immature than it actually is. I don't know. Everything seems like they have at least a bit of smarts about them, but right now, no, and it's just odd. But anyway, let's go and actually have a look at the upgrade side of things. Press start, go up, map, journal with all your quests, transport, you can pick what thing that you want to take along. Tribes, you can see who you're allied with and who you finish off. Yeah, we've already finished off the Jagni, I believe. And then we've got Netra? Yeah, Netra is the one we're going up against next. They only let you pick between two tribes at the beginning of the game. And then they say, hey, you've got one opportunity to change allegiances as you go. And that just makes things I don't know how that would turn out. Is this gonna... How much of a difference would this make? With Jagni and Myriad, it's obvious, but I don't know what it would do with the, I don't know what it would do with the Netra, because I haven't had the opportunity to go see them yet. They just kind of look evil. But yeah, anyway, it's annoying, that system. Gear, you've got an inventory full of just random stuff. I've actually sold most of it to get some money to buy some better pants. You've got items you can equip. They do show up on your body, notably, which is a nice touch. Just as an example. They also increase your resistances, so the more fire stuff you wear, the more you can get into fire areas and so on. You can also equip, of course, your different weapons here. When you go to craft, you have the opportunity to modify gear to add stuff to it. Costs a little bit of materials, but you can do that. Can I do anything? But they also require these things. Not only do they require standalone objects, they require materials, which you can get via finding them out in the world, or by knocking down those resource towers that we've been knocking down along the way. Kind of neat, but you just don't get much to work with. Especially since, as far as I can tell anyway, Like, I haven't gotten very much in the way of actual materials, so even just, like, modifying ones that I've already got is not great. Just because I've got very little in the way of actual options for them. But when I get a weapon type I particularly like, just because it looks kind of neat, like the staff here, I can't even upgrade this staff. I don't know why they won't let me upgrade this staff. They just won't. So look, if I go to, like, say it's not even here in the list. So what do I want to do if I want a staff that actually has higher damage than what I'm working with? Do I have to craft one? Does it get upgraded automatically as I level up? I'm not sure. Oh yeah, individual outfits. I assume so that this is, you've got the different resistances you need to get around the place. And there's your automaton. You can... I don't know why they managed to give this one such a smart sounding name and everything else a dumb name, but whatever. Actual character. Every time you level up, you can take points to any particular thing going on here. You've also got a bunch of those to spend at the beginning of the game as your mutation, which changes how you look. Although, notably, you can't change much about something like body shape, so you'll end up looking relatively similar to any other character, which is annoying. So you use bio points to unlock these abilities. Yep. I'll take some, whatever these are. It'll give me the opportunity to bind it to a button. Sure. Psi powers, you need to get your light and your dark aura upgraded in order to do these, which means taking the battle the good decisions. You've already seen Blink, and Blaze is basically just the same thing. It's just fire. Which is weird. And you can also upgrade your base resistances to everything with those bio points, but the more you do, the more it costs to upgrade. You've also got your character upgrade points, which you can use to spend on Wu-Tang moves. So, the more things that you've got here, you can see that you've got special attacks and regular attacks. And in order to get certain sets of weapons... special attacks, you just upgrade them from here like this. However, I'm pretty sure I've got all of the ones I'm going to get for the weapons that I've got, so I can't really show this off at the moment. It'd be nice to get my hands on a shotgun. That would be neat. Nothing here. Nothing here. I don't know why they let you look these up from this menu. It makes it imply like you can upgrade these. So I've just got 2 points sitting there not really doing anything. Although, thankfully, you can also come here and use these to unlock perks. Your automaton's weapon inflicts more damage. Unarmed attacks, no thanks. Ranged weapons can fire 25% more shots. That would actually be useful. Replenish some of your key energy with after a special attack. That's kind of neat. Yeah, let's take more shots. And you've also got your individual class, which has a set of perks unique to it. Although I think this means that either you get more classes later on, or you have to replay the game 5 times. I can tell you which one I would prefer. Either way, it's just a really basic set of stuff. So what's going on, like, right in the door? Oh, it's just a resource tower.
See that plastic scrap over there?
Yes, I see it. I really don't like the narrator. Not at all. I find the guy to be incredibly insufferable. He's just... Yeah, find the clothes soakers. I'm sure you can guess what those are.
Let's get that mount moving while the getting is good.
I really don't like the narrator. They're trying to do the whole Bastion thing with it, right? Where he constantly talks about what you're doing and tries to give you advice as you're going and all that, but it's just not well written at all. He has next to no personality because he always seems to be jumping back and forth between snarky and serious.
Probably make something glossy with plastic scrap.
And all of the advice that he tries to give out is just not particularly helpful. Let's try that new ability we got. I didn't realize I suddenly developed Gundam hands. Oh, there's a bug there. You can see, like, the ammo counter just bugging out there for some reason. That's bloody bizarre. Yeah, let's reload that. There we go. Level 15 enemies. This seems a bit much for my current skill level. But yeah, I hate the narrator. He's just completely worthless. So let's actually get on to talking about the game's difficulty. Don't play this game on hard. There's no point to it. Just... yeah, there's literally no point to it. It just adds more health to the enemies. They're still the same level of aggression. They still do... well, they do more damage back to you as well. So that you can only really survive a few hits before dying. But playing on hard just makes the game an absolute tank. Like, everybody just takes everything, so you just have to slog through it. And it's just even more annoying. Here's something that's annoying. You can't swim. I mean, technically you can swim, but watch this. Even though I'm still clearly above water here, I'm still losing stamina. So you need to... I'm sorry, it's so bizarre. Just... If you run out of stamina, you instantly die.
Love to hear a
which is kind of bizarre. You just instantly have to die and respawn from a checkpoint. Incredibly strange. Big area with a lot of stuff, I think.
Brickbrack could still have some good
Brickback,
stuff.
3G. Brickbrack, 3G. What level are these guys? Also 15. Screw it, let's fight them. Poison everybody.
All fired up. Made it count.
Oh, come on. I dodged out of the way of that one. I'll at least give it credit. Despite having this many enemies, like, on screen at once that you need to deal with, good on them for having it work as well as it does, without needing to rely on, like, actual lock-on that you need to properly control. No. It just knows what you want to do most of the time and just goes for it. And even the times when it doesn't, it's relatively easy to correct. I have no idea what this move does. Not what I meant to shoot, but to be fair, I was looking directly at it. So... I've got plenty of health packs, so this fight won't be a problem. Don't think I can parry bullets. One of the more obvious things I've said today, but...
It's starting to add up.
Another strange thing there, actually.
Just smack.
When you're close to death, you can press,
Get up.
you can press the up button on the D-pad in order to just use your closest health item. Just to, like, you know, heal up really quickly and, like, not die. Perfectly reasonable. Except you can't do it any other time except when you're about to die. The amount of times that I've tapped on that button and been like, shit, why am I not healing? One too many. Not entirely sure what their train of thought was there. I'd like to think it was something reasonable, but who knows?
Power up. Kaboom.
Hey, what am I doing? Why am I not using my Gundam beam attacks? Funny thing is, I can just use it again.
Boom, boom.
Proving range supremacy once more, I suppose. Like, all of these guys were bloody ranged attackers, so can't say I'm surprised. So yeah, job done. Some dainty resources. Oh, hey, a captive. Now, this question always weirds me out.
This one seems to be in good spirits, despite being left here for dead. Has heard that you have a sense of compassion and trusts it's in your nature to help those in need. Asks you to do the right thing for the sake of your conscience. It's only through your inner conflict you're held accountable for your actions.
So, I don't understand this question. I legitimately don't understand this question. Like, we literally just let the guy out of his goddamn cell, and then we're being asked to do the right thing again? So what happens if I just say I already feel good?
Is surprised you chose not to help. Feeling good is not the same thing as doing good.
Wait, what am I doing? Why did I just...
Take that light.
Why did I just punch his lights out? What the fuck am I doing? What justification did I have to do that? What the fuck was that about?
Use your head instead of your gun.
Oh yeah, these two show up to talk to you from time to time.
You get away with anything.
Just remember, you can always find light in the dark.
Is it shining out of his ass?
When you already know you're right.
I don't get what they're going for here. It's so bloody bizarre. Yeah, this is meant to be a good piece of loot. Good piece of loot. Key energy. A lot of key energy, actually. Sure, I'll equip that. Why not? Yeah, there's more loot to find in here as well, I think, but...
Pay attention.
Man, what the fuck does that mean? Does it mean that there's, like, somebody around that'll give me something to do, or is it just something you're gonna say to... God, I feel like I'm asking too many questions of this game, because it really is just as simple as it looks. I mean, there's so little to it in the way of plot, in the way of world building, in the way of just the way it does the open world in general. It does nothing new. The combat system is just overly simple, in the sense that there's one thing you should always be doing. Yeah, apparently someone just left that under their seat cushion. And as a result, it just ends up feeling like every other open world game ever made, but you're a little furrier than normal. And I'm bored. I've been playing for 4 hours now, going on 5 at this point, and I'm legitimately just bored. A Goo Glide parts box. Right, that would be the glider that I just got, right? An end fin. So it does... No, it just makes it look different. A plunger. One-handed slash. After being hit by an enemy attached. There's a typo for ya. And it's also just kind of buggy. It's not horrendously buggy. It's still like 99% playable, but sometimes it just acts up in weird ways. Like I said, the rotation puzzle earlier, a couple of other minor things I've run to. Nothing that I would consider absolutely game-breaking by any stretch of the imagination, but yeah, it's still not the best. I probably can't make this. Apparently I can.
There's still time before the dawn.
It doesn't matter. Nothing changes between day and night as far as I know with this one. Am I just sick of open world games and the absolutely ridiculous list of tropes? Or is it the fact that open world games just refuse to evolve? I swear we've been doing the same thing for years on end. We're just a different person being controlled every single time.
You could head down to that crossway and try to flag yourself a ride. Full sight.
Level 16? Bloody hell. Ow. That's not what I meant to do.
Crit.
I will also point out that the game's got a fair bit of repetition. A lot of the same enemies are coming along with the same attack patterns, and none of them really encourage you to play anything other than dodge-heavy, combo-landing, somewhat fast-roaded.
Looks like
Find the
control
Pling
box
Plong
handles
boost! Are
need
you
to be
kidding?
used to buzz the wire.
Pling Plong!
Just a few moves left. Make them count.
I'm sorry. It's
Wire
so
that's
dumb.
ready to go. Nice pants.
A saddle pad, apparently. A curved hinge pad. And a helmet. You know, I'll equip
Snazzy
it.
hatter.
And some pants that are nowhere near good enough. And a camo vest, which has absolutely
Heroes
nowhere near the same
inspire
amount of
in a
armor.
way nothing else can.
Yeah, so great. I get to...
You need to
Oh, look,
turn
another
the
fucking
pegs in
pling
sync.
plong. He
Just a
really
few
doesn't
moves
need to
left.
tell me you need to turn the pegs in sync every single time I open up one of these rotation puzzles. And these are everywhere.
Really put a
Everywhere
spin
from electronic boxes to washing machines to... I've literally pulled hats out of toilets and put them on my head because they
in
had
the
better
past.
stats. At what point do you go, hey, this is ridiculous?
That seems the
It's
keys
another bloody
need to be in
rotation.
sequence to make the ring dinger work. Just a few moves left. Make them count.
Right, okay.
Sometimes no message.
Oh yeah, that does hurt
is
you,
a
but
message.
you regenerate health out of combat, so
You need to
if
get
you
the
fuck
keys
it up
in
too many
sequence.
times and get too low on health, all you need to do is stand there. Man, the humanity of this universe had some weird fucking telephones. And some weird
So
fucking...
the technology from yesterday's is still here today,
Yeah.
even if its message is getting old.
Actually, just... while my mind's on it, do we have a outpost we can go and do? We do. You know what, we'll make that our last thing of the video. Because at least that has the potential to be slightly interesting. The rest of this has just been... just random side content. There are also supposed to be 4 big bosses called the World Eaters that you're meant to actively take on, but I haven't gone to any of them yet, and I doubt I will for the next few hours. So... yeah. I'm bored.
Good
There's so
righty
little...
beast. No hurty.
There's so little here to actually like. So many things that have been easily done better as a... whoops. So many things that have easily been done better as part of other open world games. They say they've been working on this for like... God, how many years? 4 years? It's like a bunch of people that split off from Avalanche. And I really liked Avalanche circa Just Cause 2. So if anything, I've got like a positive bias going to... Am I not going to be able to get there? Or am I just going to have to like circle around somewhere else? Because that looks like a dam on the map that I haven't uncovered yet. Great, this will be fun. Big boat in the middle of the ocean. But yeah, there's nothing here in Biomutant that I feel like it does even particularly well in comparison to, like, any other open world game I've played in the... Oh dear. Surf Mobble, whatever the fuck that is. Oh, it's tar. I can't even swim here. If I do, I will drown and die. So I guess I get to see if I can make it to this little island just out here. Nah, it's not even going to be close. Well, I guess that's that out of the picture then. Yeah. Yeah, let's just go back and fight that thing and call it a day. But yeah, it just... The combat is just nothing special because of how you're encouraged to go for the same set of abilities every time. The open world exploration isn't great because it does basically everything that an open world 101 game does without really throwing in anything. The theme just isn't particularly good because, again, it's just so generic and average that I just can't help but think of a million other games that have done this kind of concept better. Not even open world ones. And as a result, there's just nothing here to like. It plays okay. It's not massively buggy. It's just...
This mount has quite a
It's just so painfully average that I doubt I'll remember what this game is in a year if someone bothers to ask.
nice shot.
And that's pretty much all I've got to say about Biomutant. I wish I had better things to say. The idea is interesting, and there are so many ways they could have played around with this concept, but they just don't. Also, yeah, look, my mount just does not give a shit. It's not even like Skyrim Horse, where it's like you're trying to take on something like completely out of its league. It's just standing there. There's no AI for it. It's not reacting to anything. It's just an object in the world. This world really does feel empty as a result, man. There are just so few, like, actual things to do that aren't just your traditional empty settlement with a bunch of different people, a bunch of different collectibles in it, and possibly some enemies to fight, but not always.
You're energized.
Exploring isn't fun after the first couple of hours. Fighting isn't fun after the first couple of hours. The story isn't fun after the first couple of hours. Just because of how few risks it takes. And the theme just does not carry it. Even though it is quite pretty. I'm always a sucker for a good skybox, but it seems like we've gotten natural skyboxes down pat at this point. So I really don't know what to say. Give it a pass. I wouldn't recommend it, not on the fact that it's bad, but just because it's so blatantly average. And those are always the worst. At least when you play a game that's really bad, you can laugh at it. But when you play a game like this, where it's obvious they were at least trying to do something, but just fell into so many stereotypes, tropes, and cliches that it just doesn't feel like its own game. It just feels like an amalgamation of everything open world has done in the last 10 years. But done to death. More than any particular, like, actual improvements.
Fate is funny that way, but it won't always make you laugh.
Actually a good line. Actually in context. Shame it's not in the way that the writers thought it was going to be. This has been Blue Maxima. I'll see you all next time.